and welcome back to my channel. And today we're doing a review of the Lorac Mega Pro 4. And let me tell you, this pinking and silver packaging is like a dream come true. It is so cute. But packaging aside, we're obviously going to be doing swatches and talking about my experience with this palette. It is what I'm wearing on my eyes today. But enough of that, let's just do this review. If you like this kind of video, please don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and also tap that notification bell to be notified of more videos. And let's talk Lorac. If you guys have been on my channel for any amount of time, you know that I love so many of Lorac products. Their face products are like my favorite. Every time they come up with any kind of face palette, limited edition, permanent, yada, 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 I get it. I am so drawn to their eyeshadow palettes. Their formula is just, it is beautiful to behold. Now it is a little bit powdery across the board, but also so is Anastasia Beverly Hills. So for the pigmentation and the blendability, that is something I can look past. For the past 4 years, Lorac has been releasing their very coveted holiday releases of their Lorac Mega Pro palettes. Now the way this palette is set up is a Lorac Pro. I just saw a lady do a thing on this and she had it holding it like this and I was like, your hand is so big. Apparently mine is too. But the way a normal Pro palette from them is you would get this many shades of these two rows. This one would be matte, this one would be shimmer. For the Mega Pro, you got 2 rows of mattes and 2 rows of shimmers, basically doubling your money for about $10, $12 more than what a normal sized Pro palette would be. These palettes usually drop around September, October, giving it enough time for the holidays, which I still think dropping in September, that's September, October, November, December, 4 freaking months of peddling this crap to us before the holidays actually get here. But hey, that's just my opinion. It comes in a box that looked like this. It is $59 and is exclusive to Ulta. Limited edition, as we always know, and the total net weight is 12.8 grams, and this product lasts for 18 months, which, you know, I don't listen to none of that. I got my Pro palette from the last year and the year before that, and it's definitely been longer than 18 months on that. Now, the Lorac Mega Pro palettes are something that I get every year. If there are 2 brands that I 100%, oh my goodness, 100% support during the holidays, that is Lorac and Kat Von D. I will always get their holiday palette releases. With Kat Von D, that was the Saint and Sinner palette this year, which I'm still waiting to arrive to me, and the Lorac Mega Pros from Lorac. Take a shot every time I say Lorac. You guys are going to be so plastered by the end of this. And I was actually surprised by how much I was drawn to this palette because it is very cool toned. The Lorac Mega Pro 3, which was in the white packaging, was very warm toned, and this one is exceptionally cool. And as you guys know, I'm usually not a fan of cool tone shadows, but I was like, dang, this palette is pretty, and it was just so beautiful. I loved a bunch of the shimmers and also a lot of the themes running through this. We have, I basically saw the shade Unicorn right here and I was like, that's it. I'm gonna buy it, and a pink packaging. We have Unicorn, Lotus, Fairy Tale, Silver Fox, Plum, let's see here, Cotton, Flamingo. It's very like fairy tale-esque and light and soft, and I just love the whole presence of this palette, the presentation, and I was like, I need this in my life. But enough talking about that. Let's get to some swatches because we got a crap ton of eyeshadows to swatch, and you guys know it, swatches tell all. Okay, we are probably going to have to utilize both arms today because we have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh my god, is that freaking 32 shades? How many shades is it? Is it 32? I am so bad at math. I think that's 32. Yep, it's 32. I'm terrible at math. So obviously we're going to be starting with the matte shades. We have this cotton shade, which as the name would suggest, their shadows are just so soft. Excuse me if my swatches are going to be a little crappy today because I have nails on, and also Lorac, it's like a teeny tiny baby size pan, so it's a little bit difficult. Then we have Flamingo, which is what I started with, all over my eye and into the crease. This one's probably just going to kind of blend in with my skin tone right there. Then we have Cool Taupe right here. Once again, probably going to blend. These swatches are terrible. I'm so sorry, guys. Butterscotch, they feel amazing. I mean, it feels like you're dipping into a liquid. It's just so beautiful. Then we have Cedar, which is this beautiful, very pigmented, powdery. We knew that was coming. We got a beautiful brown going on here. Very pigmented. You can really see the other shades. Dang. Then we have Mocha right here. Ooh, oh, that one is really beautiful too. Just look at those two shades for deepening up that outer V. Then we have Denim, which is a shade that is very pigmented. I tried doing this eye look twice, and I originally just went in with Flamingo, a little bit of Oat, and then I wanted to like really deepen it up with this Denim shade. Would not blend worth a darn. I know how to blend eyeshadow, but it was just a very stubborn, patchy shade. It was very pigmented, but it would go on and then just kind of would not blend out. Then we have Shadow here, which is like a green-based black brown, very reminiscent to that shade from the Lorac Unzipped Mountain Sunset palette. But there it is right there. We are done with the first row. Then we have Pink Peony, which honestly doesn't look pink to me at all. This just looks like another white shade. Oh my goodness, these swatches are horrible. There it is right there. And then we have Oat, which this shadow was nice enough. I was not a fan of it on myself, so it might be the tone of it rather than the actual shade. Then we have Light Sage, which is this beautiful like gray, green, delicious shade that you can barely see in my swatch. Then we have Sugar Cookie, which is a matte, but it does look like it has a hint of shimmer running through it. And that's what you're going to be barely able to see. There it is right there. Need to bring it over this way. Next we have Mahogany, which is what I have on my lower lash line today. There it is right there. Then Blackberry, which I also have on my lower lash line, mixed with that Mahogany shade. There it is right there. The darker shades are like super pigmented. Most of them seem to blend out well, like this shade right here, which is Spice. That's what I have like defining my crease and giving that very blown out effect. So pretty. I'm so drawn to this kind of color. Just there it is right there. Beautiful. And then last but not least, we have Dark Chocolate, which is a beautiful, cool based brown. But as it goes for the mattes and the swatches, I don't know if you can tell, but you can see with these darker shades, there's like a deposit of color and then it just like weakens out in that direction. I had a little bit of trouble with some of the mattes, and I usually don't have a problem with Lorac's formula because I have all of their normal pro palettes. I have the two other ones and a bunch of other Lorac palettes that I absolutely love. But a lot of these matte shades were just, they were very pigmented, but then they would just kind of on the eye and then not want to blend out. I did really like Spice, Mahogany, Blackberry, Cedar, Mocha. Denim was a struggle. Flamingo is okay. Oat was okay. Sugar Cookie was okay. Butterscotch, not so much. I was really surprised that I did not really enjoy all of these shades because Lorac's formula is usually one that is a complete hit for me. All right, let's start dipping into some of these beautiful shimmer shades. I'm gonna try to go this way because this is like awkward as all get out. We're gonna start off with foam right here, which once again, these feel insanely buttery. There we have foam. Next up is honey. Oh, they just feel so good. And look at that. The shimmers are definitely the standouts in this palette. They're just so beautiful. And from the ones that I've used, they perform top notch, like pressed pigments. Then we have Pearl Slate, which is what I have on my, this part of my eye. Once again, absolutely smooth and beautiful. Trying to see, can you? Yeah, you can kind of see that one kind of just blends into my skin tone. Next up, we've got Moss right here. This is such a beautiful, like, sage green shade. It is just so stunning, very unique. I have actually tried throwing that green shade up in my crease and it looked so good and it performed really well too. Then we have Steel Wool right here. Very pigmented, a beautiful, just like perfect blue-based silver. Then we have Copper Pearl, which is another absolutely stunning shade. And then we have them going this way. Another shade that I was super excited about, actually both of these, is this Peacock shade. Now this shade does feel a little bit more like gritty to the texture. Gritty, I always say gritty to the texture. I mean gritty to the touch. I mean, you guys know what I mean. Gritty to the texture sounds like a 80s synth song. But there it is right there. Crazy pigmented. And then Lagoon, which does not share that same gritty texture, but it is also, it's like this smoke screen gray. It is just so pretty. And we're running out of swatching room, so let's see what we can do. Here we have this Unicorn shade, which you all know I am all about. There we have it right there. This is a terribly horrible, awkward situation to be in. Then we have Lotus. My goodness, I am trying my best for you guys. There we have Lotus right there. Next up is Fairy Tale, and let me tell you, this shade, although a bit chunky, it is very soft, and then when you blend it, it just, do you see that light, reflective, catching purple? It is just, I love taking this one in the crease, because I'm all about shimmers in the crease, and then using this one to highlight the rest of my lid. It is what Fairy Tale dreams are made of. Then we have Misty Mauve right here, which is another just beautiful shade. So pretty. Silver Fox, which is funny because it's like a brown copper with silver, reflex thrown in there. Very beautiful. Then we have Plum, which is, it's really soft, but I must admit it's more like a matte to me, in my opinion. It doesn't have a lot of shimmer payoff at all. It is definitely much more matte, which is kind of weird, but hey. Then we have Vamp here, which, once again, these shades on the end basically give me life. They're just, oh my goodness, they're so stinking pigmented and beautiful. There we have it right there. And then last but not least, Raven. I love how they've got some like dark gothy fairy tale stuff going on in there, which is just this insanely pigmented black. But as you guys can see, obviously the shimmers are the, star of this palette. I understand that mattes are more difficult to formulate, but when you're dealing with a brand like Lorac that makes really good standout products, I don't think it should be as much of a struggle as it seems with this palette. I mean, it's like night and day here. I mean, I understand we're comparing mattes to shimmers, but still. Okay, so kind of final rundown on this palette. I was disappointed with a significant number of the mattes, which, I mean, mattes for me is the kind of like the backbone of a palette. So when you have a bunch of mattes that are very lackluster and don't work or a little bit frustrating to use, we got some problems in my book. However, a lot of them were very nice. Of the dark shades, the easiest to use for me is the Mahogany, Blackberry, Spice, Cedar, and Mocha, Shadow, Dark Chocolate, Denim. These ones are a bit lighter, but those ones were a bit patchier, more difficult to work with. And although I must admit I didn't get too, oh my god, I just jagged my nail into the unicorn shade. Did you guys see that? Oh my god. Poor thing. Well, that just happened. But like I was saying, although I didn't go too crazy with my look today, if you see it right here, this look looked almost identical to the exact same look I created with the Urban Decay Naked Heat when I was wearing this wig. I will leave that video linked down below so you guys can see what I am talking about. And I'm like, what's the point in having this palette with this many colors if the look that I created looks exactly like another palette I already own? I mean, I admit I wasn't going too adventurous, but it's just, and maybe it's because cool tones don't look good on me, don't work on me. However, these shimmers in this palette are to die for. And that's why I'm not saying I'm completely bummed about this palette, because I have never been more attracted to a collection of cool toned shimmers than I am with this palette right now. They're just absolutely stunning. They stand alone. They're smooth. They're pigmented. Use a little Fix Plus with them and boom, you have got shimmer on your shade up to the heavens. Shimmer on your shade. Shimmer on your eyes up to the heavens, and these are just absolutely stunning. I think a bunch of them are very unique shades because we've seen in the makeup world a lot of super warm toned palettes, and these are all just beautifully cool toned, earthy colors. I mean, you saw the swatches, this fairy tale shade, this steel wool, moss, copper pearl right there. Just, they're just so good and beautiful. I love the fact that a lot of these shades, except for Fairy Tale, is a little difficult in the crease, although I do love that one with Unicorn. Peacock and Vamp, they're a little bit more chunkier, so they're definitely better suited for all over the lid shades, but everything else, I can throw that up in the crease and it's just so beautiful. So, conclusion is, I absolutely love the shimmers. On the mattes, I can make them work, but I would probably want to use other mattes for this palette, even though I don't have a lot of cool tone shades. But if you are drawn to these colors, I would definitely consider going in store, swatching it, and seeing it. If you have a friend who's picked it up, ask if you can maybe try it out. But if you want really good, high impact shimmers, this palette is your best friend. Should you be paying $59 for a full shimmer palette when you could be paying $44 and get the cool toned version of the Lorac Normal Pro? I don't know. I really love the shimmers. The mattes, not so much. This isn't a palette that I think you need to run out and buy because of the shimmers. I mean, because of the mattes that don't work. It isn't the most versatile palette. It is beautiful to look at, but take into consideration the fact that I think some of these mattes are a bit of a dud. Maybe someone who is better at makeup. I am obviously not the end-all be-all makeup person, but I had a little bit of a struggle. However, these shimmers take the pain of the mattes all away from me, but this is not a palette that I would say, yes, everything on a whole is something that you need to run out and buy right now. Well, there we have that review. My own decision on this palette actually surprised me because usually I love Lorac, but those mattes, I just couldn't look past them. The shimmers were beautiful, but the mattes were just difficult to work with in my opinion. Let me know what you guys think of this review. If you have this palette, what do you think? Are you planning on getting it? Are you never touching it with a 10-foot pole? Let me know down in the comments. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. I love you. And as always, keep it real. Mwah!